Welcome to Lead Talk, where bold ideas meet real conversation. Some experiences you forget the moment you leave, and then there is some of them that stays with you forever your life. And it's quietly reshape how you think, you lead, and how you show up. And definitely, the Stanford Lead Innovation Tour was one of these for me. The energy, the people walking into a room full of strangers who somehow felt like your people from the first moment you see them. The conversation that was beyond the agenda, the preparation for that tour, and then the lessons we take home back with us. It's not just on our notebooks, but it's something that we see in the world. Those aren't lessons that we forget, but it's something stay with us. Today, we have the absolute privilege of hosting the two people behind that entire experience, the mind, the hearts, and the vision that made it all possible. Sophia and Sandeep, it's, I think, about 8 months ago, I was sitting where you are, where we were in Switzerland. I was your guest, and today, here we go, you are our guest in Lead Talk. Welcome to our Lead Talk. We are so excited to have you, and we cannot wait to hear the whole entire journey and how it's begun. So welcome to Lead Talk. How are you, Sophia and Sandeep?
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us. I feel great. The weather is fantastic here in Sofia, in Bulgaria. So I couldn't be happier spending some time with you and talking about our initiative.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Hala. Thanks, Saif. I think it's a pleasure, and we feel privileged that you're hosting us here. I was also host of a Leadcast, which I started as a podcast when I first started this journey. So I know what it takes to make this podcast happen, right? Talk to people and really extract the real value of that conversation. So I personally now feel privileged that I can bring some value onto this type of podcast where hundreds of leaders I spoke to brought in that value. So congratulations on doing this podcast, because I think it is an effort. So we are more than happy to talk about what our experience here as well on the Lead Innovation Tour. Thank you.
Fantastic. So look, I want to start from the very beginning, right? How did you guys come up with the idea of the Lead Innovation Tour? What was the trigger?
Probably I should start, ladies first.
Yeah.
So I went to Bay Area for the first time in 2022 for the graduation party. So it was just after COVID, and I saw that people were hungry about communication, about connection in person. But most importantly, I met Sandeep. I went to his presentation. He was talking about principles of value networking, and I was super impressed by the content, by Sandeep's confidence. And I said, okay, there's something about this guy. I didn't know him at all.
Okay.
This was the first time I was seeing him. So after the presentation, there was a walking tour of the campus. So we were walking and talking, and all of a sudden we stopped and we said, we have to do something together. And there was a guy, Kevin, and I don't remember, Sandeep, whether it was you or me, but we said, Kevin, please take a picture. This is history. We shook hands.
Oh, yeah?
This picture exists. Yes, it was very, very spontaneous, very natural. Year after year, I was thinking, how did this happen? But when you meet some people, there's something you cannot explain, but very easily you trust this person. You know that this is a reliable person, and you can do something meaningful with this person. So, long story short, that's how it happened. I don't know whether Sandeep has a different story or something to add.
We're going to test that. So yeah, let's hear from Sandeep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's very kind of Sophia, but to talk about that presentation, but I do remember that there were a lot of people, as she said, like people come there to network, and then, okay, how do you really extract value from your networking sessions or when you meet people, how do you meet the right people to make sure that you're making, something great together? So this was a prime example of that, because that's where she saw me, we met. And I think taking a picture was my idea, if I remember correctly, but I think it was more about, okay, we don't know what we're doing, but let's shake hands and hey, let's make this as a history. And maybe when we come back, probably we'll be proud of what we started there. So that's where I think it started.
Yes.
And it was a very basic principle and idea which Sophia had in mind, to be honest, about how to do some tours across the world. And then we evolved that over a period, which we'll talk more on that. But I think that was a very basic seed into this idea where Sophia said, let's do something. And this is the idea I have in mind. What can we do better? And that's how it started, to be honest.
So just to give a bit of context, maybe to the audience. So, Sophia, you don't live in the States. You live in Hungary, correct?
Europe, no, in Bulgaria.
In Bulgaria, I'm
Sofia
sorry.
from Sofia.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
the capital city of Bulgaria is Sofia.
It's Sofia, correct.
I live in
Yeah.
Sofia.
I've
Yes.
actually been there a long time ago. Yeah. And Sandeep, you're based out of?
I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, USA.
Great.
Yeah.
And were you guys in the same cohort out of the Stanford LEAD program? Okay.
Yes, but we never met during the program.
Okay. And you guys met during the graduation, not during the Me2We event that Stanford LEAD program runs every year, correct?
We met during Me2We in 2022. Yes.
Oh, it
exactly.
was in Me2We. Okay.
This is where it started that time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys, okay, you said there's something here. You had an inkling of an idea. You're in Europe, Eastern Europe, you're in North America. How did you guys communicate? How did you kind of foster this idea and develop it into reality and taking it from concept to execution? Sandeep, I'll give it to you now.
Yeah, maybe I'll start. So basically, then once the idea was like, then the next step also Sophia said, he said, Sophia, I don't know, she already had spotted a guy called Victor, and I have to give full credit to him, even though later on, due to his personal commitments, he could not continue on working with us. But then Sophia said, let's talk to Victor, because I think we should go to Amsterdam first, because that's the country where the real innovation in Europe about sustainability and few things, we probably had talked to him. So that's how, then the first thing we did is we exchanged our numbers with each other, because 3 days you would have been gone, right? Nobody knows each other. Well, after that, you are busy with this. So we exchanged our numbers. And we said, okay, let's evolve this idea on WhatsApp. I'm not sure if we formed a group, but definitely me and Sophia started evolving the idea on WhatsApp, few calls, to take it to a real shape. That does it really mean something that, oh, we want to do a tour? What does that mean? So then for that tour, we had to add something. One is innovation, and I added the term called fun. So I said, let's make it fun innovation tour. So while people also enjoy the culture and innovation in that country, we should also add an element of fun so that it becomes a good outing for people as well. So that was a basic framework. Now, what to do in innovation and what to do in fun is what I want Sophia to start with, and then I'll close it so that you understand the whole process in the first tour itself. It's like a 0 to 1 kind of a startup where you do your all, evolve, you pivot, you do all of these things, and then you shape up with something. So, Sophia, if you want to add on how that fun and innovation idea evolved.
Yeah, absolutely. So we saw the energy during Me2We, and we saw that people are hungry not only for communication, but to exchange ideas, because we learn a lot in the LEAD program. But learning is not applying. So we said, what if we combine innovations in different areas, depending on the interests of the people, and put some fun in this experience? So if we have to be absolutely honest, during the first year, we were not very well structured and organized, but we didn't want to over-engineer the experience.
Okay.
So we threw a few ideas. There was a local team. Probably I have to say, because I'm not sure whether people are aware, but this is an event run from leaders to leaders. We are all volunteers. So this is the uniqueness for this event, because nobody is obliged to be there. People join the team. If something happens along the way, they are free to leave, but they prefer to stay because we give them the opportunity to open doors in their countries, to create what they think is meaningful, and to show this experience to the rest of the world, because you know that in LEAD we have representatives from more than 100 countries, which is unique. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think just to add to what Sophia said, and I'm evolving again on the first itself. Like, okay, how many people will come? What is
This is what I wanted to ask you. When you started in Amsterdam, how many person were in the first innovation tour?
60. Yeah.
60. Wow, this is a big number for the first time.
Yeah. So, and then like they came from different countries, right? So we had no idea how many people we can accommodate. So the whole evolution process is very interesting. That's what innovation is, right? Like you move from like, the first thing is, okay, how many people are registering? Now the process was also very crude. We didn't have a website. We didn't have a shopping cart where people can just buy everything. Nothing was there. We just said, okay, you pay. I think I created a PayPal account, and then we asked people to pay there because we were not even aware of the Global Exchange Challenge. Some people didn't had PayPal. Some countries didn't allow PayPal. So it was a very chaotic process in terms of registration. But most important is once you know how many people are coming, how many we can accommodate. That was another thing. But most important is which companies we should be going for innovation. And that is where, again, we had to take help from a lot of the leaders. So we did a framework saying, okay, sustainability, deep tech, a few topics we thought are right for innovation, but then identifying the companies, getting a list of all that companies, and then seeing where the leaders have the connect. Then the great help came from the European Leads alumni group. I think Emily was involved. That's the time when we got the bigger. I think Dipti was also part of that. So they all started contributing in terms of, okay, which are the companies? I think Sonali was there. So bottom line is everybody then started thinking, okay, how can we make it more interesting? Can I ask my company to get my colleagues or alumni to come to my company? That's where then ING Bank, Jacko came for ING Bank, and then Sonali came from eBay. I think there was another marketplace, and then eBay, Nandu from. Everybody started contributing. So what evolved was a theme. The theme started evolving. Oh, let's do this. Let's visit different companies, understand what innovation they're doing. And then the next question was, okay, if we have 60 people, how many one company can accommodate? And that's where then we started thinking, okay, then looking at sponsors, looking at staff. So everything, and I don't want to go into the details of it, but I think that was the whole mode. And when everybody came together, me and Sophia, we did it. It's very easy for Bay Area people, Stanford, to invite people and people will just join. But people like us, we didn't know anybody, and we didn't know whether the people will come or not. So for us, I think it was a great success that people thought that it's worthwhile coming. So what we learned there is design thinking principles we applied in terms of how we actually solve that problem of how to define it and how to solve it. So it was a great experience for me and Sophie as well, and also team working. So that's how it evolved. And then there was no looking back once we know that this is a template which works.
And did so I see the evolution, and I think that's absolutely great. The question is, did the vision change as you progressed, from ideation towards the actual execution, did the vision change? And was there a point where you guys were like, maybe this is not going to work, I'm going to stop? So it's a two-part question.
I can start.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in the very beginning, when we started in Amsterdam, I was not sure whether this initiative will fly. And I was super, super excited and surprised when I saw that 60 people from 25 countries will be joining us in Amsterdam. After that, I have never had doubts because I saw the energy. I saw the enthusiasm from both sides, organizing team and leaders coming from all parts of the world. So I have never had doubts after Amsterdam. And this was the first edition of the Lead Innovation Tour. And just because we were not experienced, as Sandeep said, we were not sure exactly which one to start first and then what to do next. We were,
But
we were
I'm sure, Sophia, the way I'm just hearing you, when you finished the first edition, I'm sure you sat down and reflect of what went well and what you want to improve. And this is where I feel it was, which country, if I'm not mistaken, Singapore?
No,
Amsterdam.
Tokyo.
No, sorry, Tokyo?
Yes, Tokyo was the next one.
The second one. So how you got this learning and reflection? Because I'm sure you wanted the outcome, that people today are reflecting, from not only academic, what they learn as a leader, but into action, because this what make the uniqueness of the innovation tour. So how you ensure in your second edition to make sure there is an outcome, people go out, and learn something on practical from the trip that you are planning in the companies.
So we learned our lessons, and the uniqueness about this initiative is that we are working with different teams from different countries, different continents every year. So what we can do is simply transfer the knowledge from the previous year. Now having 4 previous years is much easier, but more or less each team starts at ground zero. I mean, we give them some information, but we give them the freedom also. They are free to choose their teams. They are free to offer what they think is the best way to organize the event. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we are not over-engineering it. Just because we know that if we put a concrete frame, it won't work well. We want to give them freedom so that they can show what they really think we need to see as a group.
They can create.
Yes, and it's getting better and better every year. So after Amsterdam, okay, we were happy, but after Tokyo, we were just wow. What happened here? It was unbelievable. The feedback, even. There was an article in Forbes Japan about us. Everybody was talking about this, and I said, "Okay, this is the limit. We couldn't go higher." And next year was higher and higher and higher up. So it's unique, and it's unique because of the people, because of their culture, because of their energy, because of their commitment. We all know that people are the name of the game. It's not,
and it's not easy to put people from different countries, different time zone, different culture, and I tried this. The way you go into that room and you have globally around the world, everyone is there for the same reason. And I like, Sandeep, what you mentioned. It's fun and innovation. These two elements, when you combine them, this is what I see. Once you release the ticket, people are just fighting over the ticket to get it. So I think these two elements what make it excited. And to be honest, the countries, and now you are saying I miss Tokyo. I think this is you need to repeat again maybe. But it's something I feel it would be very interesting to go there as an innovation tool, in that framework. But we are excited now. We have Barcelona, right, in October.
Yes. Barcelona.
Yeah, and I want to tell a story to add to what Sophia said. See, now obviously the first one was like thumb in the air, like, okay, which country? That's Amsterdam, whatever. But then it became, as Sophia said, everybody was also so happy at Amsterdam that some people from Japan came, some people from other countries came, and then we said, okay, it's getting difficult where we should go next year. So we in fact had a bid, an auction. So I said, we invited applications.
Okay.
And then the enthusiasm, and then with 3 countries participated. The reason I'm bringing this up is that time it was Singapore, Japan, and Dubai. So Joe from Dubai was also involved, and everybody
Dubai
was
is still on the list, huh? I'm
Yes.
bidding for this for next year.
Exactly. So what happened was then of course Japan, as Japanese team, right? They were so meticulous and everything was like to the dot. The Excel was to the point, and you couldn't, and as both of us, we were like, there was no competition, to be honest with you, in terms of how Japan presented it. So why I'm saying is it's not. So it became an Olympic style bid, but the most important part is it's not because they gave the best presentation. We also look for good leaders because for us, the experience matters. We work with the other groups also. Like next year, I think we work with Singapore to make sure that then we guide them. They also had equally good presentation. I won't say that. And Dubai also had equally. But my point is, it takes a lot of effort for them to come together,
Bring everything.
up with good
Yeah.
ideas, right? And for that, I think that's one contribution me and Sophia would like to take, giving back to the community, that wherever we have gone, that country has created a good lead network and they have become friends forever. So which is, I think, is a great output of what we have done so far.
I have a question, Sandeep. Today you are giving this bid, for example, for Tokyo, okay, and they start to plan and you give them the freedom and the trust, which is great, Sophia. But how do you maintain that you have a specific standard? People are investing their time, their money to get out of, their busy schedule and come, to
Yeah.
join this tour. How do you ensure that, the outcome is up to the standard? Do you have something like criteria? Whoever would apply and bid for a country that they need to achieve it. How do you take your criteria and in planning, your trips?
Absolutely. When we invite countries to apply for hosting the next Lead Innovation Tour, we give them a template presentation. So they have to fill out information, what they can provide on day 1, on day 2, on day 3. So we give them some guidance. Of course, it's not do whatever you want. But we give them a template, but in the same time, we give them freedom. So, and after we choose the team, we are always there for them. I mean, we are part of the organizing team. We are involved in everything, in communication. They are the faces of the Lead Innovation Tour, but we are
the backbone.
As a committee, it's you and Sandeep who would filter, based on what is the submission, correct?
Yes.
It used to be till this year, but this year the competition was quite tough. That's why we invited leaders to join us in the assessment of the presentation. So there was a committee of 8 leaders, and each one of us was going through the presentations, and there was criteria. So each one of us had to say why we have to go to this country this year or go to the next country next year. So this is
Which
something
makes sense,
new.
Yeah. I want to add here that, as Sophia said, while we do this bidding, we screen, right? First, we definitely do not want the countries who applied for to lose the momentum, right? So like Japan won, and the country who kept the momentum going was Singapore. So we next year immediately. So we didn't ask for any more bids that time. So okay, let's if Singapore's the team is there, let's go ahead. Somehow Dubai team probably decided to move on or whatever. So I'm hoping now it will come back. So The idea is that, we also, again, now that we are going to Barcelona, we had, as you know, Kazakhstan, China, and Armenia as part of the competition. So we still are engaged with these people and say that, hey, you guys had shown interest. And if you continue to show the interest, you should come to Barcelona, see how it's evolved so that you can make your experience better. And if you're still there as a team, then maybe we'll come to your place, because the criteria were very straight. It's just that it's like just one or the other. It doesn't mean that one is bad a country or something like that, right? So that,
No, definitely. It's just, the ideas you are
yes,
putting, and what get all these leaders together. At the end, you have an objective. And I
absolutely.
see, everyone is excited always. What is the schedule? What is, it's going to happen? And what I like about this, maybe say if you didn't know, people book the ticket before knowing the agenda or the schedule. And in Barcelona, that's it. We don't know anything yet. And they're surprised, we get the agenda, and then they will tell us what are the companies, and then you can select, which one is more for your interest. So what I found, about, and I want to ask about the secret of the excitement, I would say, and I tried this personally, before the innovation tour, during the innovation tour, and post that. Because the way how you build it, I remember last year the engagement was like 4 or 5 months ahead, and I was one of them who's totally engaged, talking to the people, getting to know their hobbies. So the platform, that you were setting is something that people, when they meet, they already, I feel that we already went extra mile in knowing each other. And then when you meet there, it's totally different bonding that's happening. And the memories when you leave. Yeah, I recall the group was active at peak, everyone picturing, went into the plane. I wish I can extend more. So what is the secret behind this community that established, and what make it different from any professional network? And I'm sure all of us, we are part of different network, but what is make, innovation tour communities different?
I think that the first thing is that this is a boutique event. So when we started, we said probably 55, 60 people will be the maximum. After that, we realized that due to the huge interest, we had to go to 120, but we are trying to keep it small because this allows us to have time on our own, to exchange ideas. So for me, this is one of the unique aspects of the Lead Innovation Tour. And the second one is the Lead community. It's we were talking with Sandeep before the podcast. There's something very, very unique in the Lead community. Probably, I was wondering, Sandeep will add what he thinks, but probably because this was one of the first programs in the world, online programs of this kind, and very bright and very clever, very open-minded people applied for this online program. And when you put such people together, what else could you expect to happen? Sandeep, if you want to add something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, and to be honest, and I don't want to take any credit from as our batch, like Voyagers. We were 22, just coming out of COVID. I think everybody was desperate to meet each other and try to build some real value. So even Marine and others also told that ours was a very enthusiastic batch. We were so connected and so talking to everyone. So that was one. But the other part, if you look at the innovation tour, and as you said, how it is different. See, the most important part is we brought fun as well as innovation. Right now, fun, you can go to Barcelona or Japan with family and still have fun, right? So you don't need to be with somebody to have fun. The second part is the innovation. You visit different, as a professional network, you go to conferences, you go to different places for that, right? So but the innovation you get there is very specific to what currently you're doing. What people like about this, I feel, is that, okay, I'm, let's say, an IT engineer, but I get to see life sciences industry innovation happening. The cross-country and cross-industry experience and innovation actually evolves your mind in terms of how you can apply here. So I think that also people are thinking, oh, this is different because I don't have to just go and talk to my similar professional colleagues who I keep bouncing on or meeting them in different conferences. Here I'm with people with all my guards down. That's one thing. I don't have to pretend I'm the CXO where I am and I can't talk about my problems. So if I talk to you, I can be just myself and say, yeah, I'm facing this problem in my organization, or, how do you see this? So that bonding immediately got created. And the second is there are a lot of personal challenges people go through, right? Changing a job, not having a job, or, even looking, starting a company, and you want to bounce some ideas with someone who is not going to judge you. And I think people saw that this is a great platform that I can talk about what I'm thinking.
Safe environment,
In an
people can
environment
speak
where I
up.
can be open about myself. I can even cry. And I've seen people crying in certain places, because they felt so overwhelmed by the support they got during the tour. And I think that's something which I feel is the value we are bringing on to the community, that, you
Yeah.
can be yourself and probably evolve and be much better.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned something specifically about innovation and, bringing this innovation forward across, different countries, right? You said Japan, Barcelona, Singapore, Dubai applied, China applied. Have you guys seen a different approach of innovation across different cultures?
I mean, Sophia, you want to go ahead first?
Yes, different. This is not copy paste. Because we more or less international teams. We are talking about, for example, Japan, but in this team we had people from the US. I'm based in Bulgaria, so it's not 100%, let's say, Japanese team. So it's a bit difficult for me to answer this question, but there is a unique approach of each team. It just happens. For me, it's very interesting to see how different teams are organizing themselves. One team would prefer to communicate constantly on WhatsApp. The Japanese team didn't want to use WhatsApp for communication because it was not very easy for them to go through the previous correspondence. So they were using our internal lead platform, WorkVivo. So they were structuring the information in a different way. So to answer your question, yes, there is some uniqueness, but in the same way, there's a similar approach, just the tools that leaders are using, because again, this is coming from LEAD, international program. I don't see such big cultural, differences and specifics.
But I can share some. So, for example, from the culture of innovation, right? So every country, if you see Switzerland and how is there, it's the number one when it comes to the innovation index, as we know, right? Precision engineering is the heart of their culture. So the whole event was to the dot, to the minute we had organized. And we made sure that, it closed at 5 p.m. when the day one was supposed to close. So what Japan also was also a discipline. The culture of discipline is there in Japan. Whereas in Singapore, and if you now consider Barcelona, this is my take. And maybe it's a learning for all of us to understand how probably the Western Europe works. Because now we have decided that during the summer times, and we know that in Europe, it's all vacation, right? So we know that, as a culture, you can't disturb people when they're on leave or something like that. Come to USA, or you come to India, where I come from, there's nothing like vacation. Your boss texts you in the evening or 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. You still have to answer it. You are used to that type of a culture of responding to that because you are used to that culture.
Right.
I'm sure it will be an offense if I try to call someone Western Europe and they say, "Oh, I'm on holiday." And this is a small example I'm giving, but you see there is a difference of how people see and
Right.
value the time, and how do they actually, evolve. Now, that doesn't mean that the innovation cycle is different than one country or the other. I think they have their own methods. But the point is that, these are very small things we start bringing into all the work they do. And it will be interesting to see how Barcelona, in spite of all this, whatever we know, still is one of the greatest hub of deep tech, big life sciences thing, and beautiful architecture. I think that's something which we are all looking forward to. This can't happen just because people are sleeping between 1 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, right?
Right.
So there has to be some method and some precision in terms of how that culture of innovation is helping them grow and be known where they are, what they are for, right? So small examples, I thought that'll be useful for you to understand.
I mean, this is absolutely great, right? Because you kind of get a first taste of how a particular country thinks and operates, right? And by virtue of creating this event, right? So how the Japanese team worked and operated versus, for example, how the Spanish team is currently in Barcelona creating this event. If we take it beyond the event itself or the execution of the event and the actual learning, right? So they're going to go see different companies, they're going to hear from different types of leaders. Is it a misconception to say, if I've been to one innovation tour, so I've been to the innovation tour, let's say in Tokyo, that's it, it's the same wherever I go? Or is there a learning because of the approach that each country takes and puts their little touch towards innovation?
I don't think that they are similar in format, but very, very different because of the culture and the specifics of each country. So if you have been to Japan, that's okay, but if you go to Barcelona or to Switzerland, it will be completely different experience.
I think also because each country, they have their unique specialization. And I remember Zurich Hub, the one we visited, it was a hub for all the innovation startup. It was amazing trip and information we've got. And you know what? This is what I wanted to also to highlight, how much leaders, they would take back to their work. I remember the trip to Zurich Hub, I got a lot of, if you recall, they make showcase of some, platforms and some startup ideas. And I took it back to my current company and I was discussing some ideas. So I think this is the value of it, that people, they come for fun, they come for the community, they come for, to be exposed. But the most important as well, what I can take, out of this to bring it back with me and start to apply it into learning. I have one question that I know many leaders are waiting for this episode. And many people would ask as well, how we can, as a leader, contribute to lead innovation. Yes, we are registering, joining for fun, for learning, but what would be your expectation? Yani, you started with the small ideas, it was successful, you went to the second, and we see, mashallah, it's evolving. How people can contribute? What would be your advice, for those who has passion to do that?
For me, and I can go there. So I think the way we see, if you see now, we have become a community. Like Lisa, if you look at the group, the Innovation Tour group, we are a community. So it's no longer just Sophia and Sandeep's anymore. We are kind of we're just pioneers in starting this, but I think it's community's event. And as Sophia said, it's from the leaders for the leaders, right? So the way we look at it is, there are 2-3 things which the leaders can contribute. One is obviously, let's say, the local community. When we look at the strength of that, wherever we go, obviously we look at the strength of the leader in terms of what they can bring on table. But for people who are not want to participate, if they want to get involved into coming up with ideas, for example, oh, this is what is going to be incredibly valuable to our leaders, and I have some network there, or I know someone who can help us do that. And I'll give you an example of Nandu, who was from Bay Area. And when we did our first thing in Amsterdam, now he is from eBay. Now he knew that Amsterdam eBay was doing something great or whatever. So she himself contributed, became part of the team, and made sure that we visited eBay as one of the companies to see the innovation. So what we appeal to leaders is help us not only uh, get the rich experience from, I mean, the leaders from the host are going to give you that. But if you know someone or want to have an idea which you think you can implement, just don't give us ideas. That is one thing. You know, ideas can come from everywhere. But if you can support us on execution or helping the host guys, then we love that, you know. And we have never stopped from saying, oh, because you're not from Amsterdam, you can't participate. No, that's not the question. Do you have an idea? Do you know who can help you execute that? And then you connect you with the host people so that you can make it happen. So that's one way of looking at it, if that helps.
The power of the community. You want people
Yes.
to utilize within this leader community.
Yes.
Yeah, Sophia, do you have an advice as well?
So for me, the key is blending of cultures. I don't know how it sounds, but a few years ago, I was super surprised to read that the cultural differences, one of the biggest threats in international business. So not only business, if we take it in different contexts. So for me, appreciating, knowing the culture of the host leaders is one of the key things, because when you see that things are working, probably not as good as in your country, but in a different way, but they still work and people are making fantastic things, just support them, no matter what. For me, this is the thing, the core thing. Except for the company visits, the innovations. Again, it's not a retreat. Somebody was asking us, so is this a retreat? And
They wanted massages, yeah?
No. Somebody outside lead said, can we possibly join one of the tours? And I said that it's specifically organized for leaders. This is for our community, and that this is not a retreat. So we are having great time together, but the focus is innovations. And why? Because this is the engine of any country, any business.
But let me tell you one thing, Sophia, by the way. When I came back after Switzerland, many people were asking me, because they like the concept and the platform. They said, is that only specific to leader from Stanford? I said, yeah, it's a community. But people were jealous. And it's not always you can find a community that, for example, in Zurich, I was talking about it for someone. Say, how can I visit there? I said, I don't know, you can Google and search. But I went with the group, it's a plan. So even the idea some people wish to be extended outside the leader community, but I told them this is very selective and elite, nobody can enter. So you never know in the future. And this is what I would ask you. What is, the next for Innovation Tour? What's your vision? Where you want to take it in a couple of years?
Yeah.
Have you started yet or not yet? You are evolving year by year?
Honestly, Hala, when we started this, obviously it is by the community for the community. The idea is like that. Now, when you said that, right, that somebody from outside lead wanted to do this, right? Now, obviously, the community spirit is actually driving this more, right? We are able to extract the value from the local leader community, take it forward. As a concept, I would say it's one of the very unique concepts. I've been in professional world, and before I did this, I don't think I saw any of the programs anywhere, even, right? So I'm connected with a lot of other organizations. They say, oh, why are you not doing it for us? And I said, it's not that easy to do this, because you have to have the community support to do that. Now, can we scale it up? Can we bring it outside lead? I mean, me and Sophia keep thinking about it, but then it becomes a much bigger commitment and more of a commercial entity to really scale it up at that level. And then for that, then you really have to give more time and thinking, because what I extract from my leaders for this program, I don't think it's possible for you unless you come up with some great idea for people to get value from it. So that it takes some time. We are thinking about it, but I know that there's a big demand coming. And whoever I'm speaking to, they're saying, oh, I want to join that. Can I join? And you said we are saying.
And you know what, you were saying this, you know, the success, it's the leader community spirit, because there is a common language. And I recall everyone when they present themselves safe, like how we do it when we meet. So everyone start to not to say their names, their cohort, right? And then they start to introduce after, you know, the name, the country. So I think this is, and there is common language, the professor, which course was your best? So, you know, these, not anyone can understand it outside lead, you know, these 4 or 5 questions that all of us, we ask each other when we meet. So, and you cannot make it. It might be boring, you know, for other people to join from outside.
You can't relate.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they'd find it boring, to be honest. I mean, so I haven't been to Me2We, and I haven't been to the innovation tour. Hala has.
Put on your pocket now, Saif.
Yeah. But the excitement that I saw from not just from Hala, but from people that went to both, right? So they're, you know, somebody might say, do they compete? I think they complement each other very, very well. But the excitement out of the innovation tour is very, very high, right? It's because it extends that learning, it extends that community. At the same time, it furthers that education. It gets people to more inspired. And on that note, I'm actually right now registering for the event myself. So Hala kept saying I should attend, and I fully subscribe to that. So I'll be seeing you guys in Barcelona for sure.
Awesome.
Yes, definitely.
I can tell you, every year we have seen that, you know, people go with much more satisfaction than the last year and saying, oh, probably this year was the best. That's how every year they have been saying. So next year, I'm pretty sure people will say, oh, Barcelona was the best so far, right? So because people put in
I've attended one, I really enjoy it so much. And that's why when you just released the ticket, I said, even though sometimes you don't know what happened after 6 months, right? I said, I'm not going to lose it. You know, I'm going to buy the ticket to let's see what happened. But I wanted to secure my place. And I was telling Saif, take your seat, otherwise it will be missed. Because at the end, there is all sold out, you know, the tickets.
Yeah. We're closing the registration on the 30th of June. So we have a few tickets. Yes. Yeah. And again, this is because we want to keep it small.
Yeah.
To keep it unique. I mean, boutique.
Yeah, we want to put it on record that, you know, whatever money we collect here, we put it back into the experience. So let's say we have some budget in mind, and then let's say we get some more sponsorship or something, and then we have some surplus. Then we upgrade the experience. Like last year in Switzerland, we upgraded the hotel experience to move to a very 5-star hotel for our gala dinner and all that stuff. So what we do is we just make it a point that, you know, all that money goes into the community experience.
Something
and then
special.
Something
special. If I would ask each of you separate, I want to hear from Sophia and from you, Sandeep. I will start with the Sophia ladies first. What this journey has taught Sophia on personal level about leadership? You know, of course, you went through the course, you went through this experience, the planning. What is the top 2 things, you know, that you can mention that it changed, you know, your perspective?
So I'm much more patient compared to 5 years ago.
I need to join you then. so I learn how to have patience. Okay.
I saw that, not that I didn't know it, but I experienced it with volunteers. To be the leader means to be quiet and to be very supportive. I mean, quiet to give them the opportunity to speak first, to express their ideas, and then say, okay, depending on the context. I don't remember saying no. There are a few occasions when I said no to some team members, but most of the time, I'm fully supportive. And the second thing, probably the most important thing, is that it's not the Lead Innovation Tour is not about leadership for me. It's about friendship. I made a lot of friends in each part of the world, and if we were having this conversation 5 years ago, I I was not going to tell you that half of my friends are on different continents. So this is my top two.
For me,
Sophia, what about you, Sandeep?
I mean, I would be first grateful to have Sophia as my friend. So I think that is the best outcome of this. As I said, we are from different continents, but as she said, like she's supportive, she's very patient now, and we
Now,
complement.
I like now, emphasizing,
Yes, so we complement each other's energy. So that's I think that keeps this
Wait
going.
till you see me, Sandeep. Ask safe.
And the other thing which I feel, as Sophia said, we have created friends for life in 25 different countries. I can say I have a home, which I think is a great outcome of this. Doing a course with 100 plus different countries, nationals, is one thing, but meeting them in person, back to back in different countries, has created a bond which makes you feel proud of the outcome of this whole thing. Because I know that whatever geopolitical scenario currently it is, I personally feel that this harmonization of cultures, harmonization of beliefs can only happen when you meet with each other. And this tour has not only taught me, but I think many leaders that, there's so much to learn from each other and can be just, kind to each other and just grow our relationship as well as do something better for the world. And I think that's what Stanford wants to do, change the world.
Countries, companies, and at the end, the world in a positive way.
That's true.
I mean, I just feel so connected, even with this small podcast, right? So I feel so connected with Hella, you, and Safe. And I feel, imagine that whole energy now sitting in a room with 20 different people. And not, as Sophia said, we have a very small cohort, 100 people. We want to make sure that you should be talking to at least 50 different new people every time you go there. You can't talk to all 100, that's for sure. But then even if you talk to 50 people and make 10 good connections, I think that's the outcome I want to take out from every tour. And I think I've done that over a period, and I'm very happy about that personal outcome for myself. Yeah.
This is the magic about, Lead community. It's the power of network and connection and building friendship, as you said. Saif, I want to hand it over to you now. Really, we enjoyed the session. We enjoyed the talk, the conversation. I'm biased about Innovation Tour. I love the first experience, going to the second now. Saif, you already registered, right?
Yeah.
Done?
Done.
So you will have a great time, I'm sure, about this. We would like to thank you so much for your time. I think the one you create, the Lead Innovation Tour, is a reflection out of this learning and the community, what we are doing as a podcast as well. I think now we are celebrating anniversary of 1 year as well. Yeah. And we are happy to see we are progressing as well. We are learning, and we learned from you a lot today, by the way. And I think now we will reflect me and save. Thank you so much. Do you have last word you want to share with the community of our Lead?
Thank you for having us, and we are waiting for you in Barcelona.
Yes, thank you for having. We wish you all the luck in probably having the 5th anniversary of Lead Talks, and probably would love to come back again and then see where you stand after so many years. But I congratulate both of you to do this, because I know it is a lot of effort, but at the same time, I know that you're going to make a lot of meaningful connections where possible. And of course, for everything else, you can come to Innovation Tour and make some noise there. Thank you.
So if you have anything before we end?
Nothing. Thank you very much. I truly enjoyed this. We might come to you with a suggestion. Maybe we run one of our podcasts out of the Innovation Tour one day and do it kind of like a live show. I think this would also be kind of interesting. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. This has been fantastic for us. And we look forward to actually hosting you again, as you said, Sandeep, very, very soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice day.
Have a great one.